Hey everyone, welcome back to the NXTZEN channel. Really excited to get this series going. This is our 2016 Audi S8. We're going to be going through it head to toe. We're going to first start with the engine, but we're going to go and try to detail and film as much content as we possibly can on this car here behind us. Starting at the engine, wheels, tires, wheel wells, washing the body, doing a decon, doing the interior, leather, vinyl, carpets, using all the coatings. So, and then maybe instilling some tips and tricks along the way. Like I said, very first thing I'm gonna do is the engine. Anytime I do a detail like this, this is where I first start. We're going to get it all cleaned out. There's a bunch of leaves in here from maybe squirrels are collecting them, I don't know. But once again, this car sits outside. This is an outside car, 24/7. It's under a canopy, I guess you could say, a really, really nice canopy. And but it's still exposed to the elements pretty much 24/7 out here in Texas. It's been a good while since it's had any kind of a detail work. I'm going to show you the engine, what it looks like here in a moment. And I'm going to finish it in two different ways. One way is going to be just a cleaning, right? It's going to look good. Then the next way is going to be a detail. And let's see if you guys can see the difference between the two. Now, a lot of people will start here and work their way down into the actual engine area. I do it in reverse. I start down here and I do this last. Reason being is I don't want to clean this first, and as I'm cleaning down here, I've got this stuff dripping on me. It's easier to clean this last, close it, allow it to kind of drip, right? It's going to get your clean engine a little bit dirty. That's all right, because we're going to do one more final rinse off, blow everything dry really good, and then continue on the detail work. What I'm going to be using from NXTZEN in this is, it's the NXTZEN Super Clean. This is our all-purpose cleaner. And in the 500 mil, this is concentrated. In the new version, the 1 liter is going to be ready to use. So it's going to be mixed at I believe a 30-to-1. I could be mistaken in that. I'm going to double check that, but I believe it's 30-to-1. I have it mixed here for this engine, for the purposes of cleaning this engine, at basically 5 ounces to 30 ounces of water. Now, pretty much for everything you're going to need, a 30-to-1 ratio is really, really good. As far as interior goes, leather, vinyl, things like that. General maintenance, perfect. You might need it mixed up a little bit different if you're doing wheels and tires. If you're a pro, maybe instead of like a 31, maybe you're going to do 3 ounces to your 32-ounce bottle. So you're just going to kind of work with that, see what works good for you. But super economical, a little bit goes a long way. Spray bottles, put that down there. Spray bottles, I'm just going to use the good old ZET bottle. I like these big ones because they got a wide mouth. It's easy to pour stuff in there. And tool-wise, we're just going to basically do everything with these right here, right? This is obviously wheels, right? To clean the barrels of the wheels, works great on engines. These two are really the only thing you also need for engines. Next up, next question. Hot or cold engine? I prefer a warm engine. Neither cold nor hot, just kind of warm. Start it up, let it run just for a little bit, and then I'll continue on the cleaning process. Now, the reason I like that is because I don't pre-rinse the engine. I'm going to spray this dry. What that does for me is it gives me the ability to not dilute this further. It's going to make just contact on the paint or the areas that I want to clean, and I'm going to let it dwell for a little bit and agitate it, rinse it, kind of work my way around. What I will do is, before I do an engine, I typically almost always spray the fenders down, the glass, and along the fenders and bumper, just for any overspray. It's really, really important if you're working outside it could be a nice hot day and just the ambient air temperature is going to start drying stuff off. So you just want to be a little bit careful. The Super Clean won't harm anything, but better safe than sorry. All right, so let's take a look at the engine. And you can see we have just leaves, lots of leaves, dust, just road dust and dirt. Not particularly greasy and grimy, just a lot of road dirt. Come up here to the underside of the hood. Once again, nice and dirty. All right, so here we are. We're just about ready to start the engine. And I went ahead and got rid of the leaves as much as I possibly could. Now, these engines kind of are designed to be pulled apart, right? The cladding pieces can kind of come off and they expose everything that's underneath it. The downside to doing that is on some of these older cars with the cladding, they get brittle. And so the connectors and stuff that are holding it in right now, they can snap, they can break, and then you got loose fitting pieces. Nobody wants that. Another thing about these modern engines, they look really, really nice because of that cladding, the black cladding and stuff that they put around. It's kind of encased, right? Old engines, kind of like Ron's V-Dub here that's just next to us. When I first started detailing, the engines were a little bit different. You had distributor caps and all that kind of stuff to worry about, cover carburetors. These vehicles, not so much. Thank you, Ron. This is a working shop. It's gonna be interruptions and lots of noise. So, like I said, you could do a pre-rinse down on this engine and it would look okay, but we're not going for okay. I'm going to show you guys how I would detail this, and this is going to go for both the pros and or the weekend warriors, just taking care of your own car. All right, we have our engine here. It is cool to the touch. It's really just got an engine warm-up coming from one area of the shop to this area. Let it run for just a few moments, but it's pretty much cool to the touch. So I'm going to start in the back corner here, and let's get our spray going. I don't do a pre-rinse on the engine, although I did wet the areas around the engine. And I'm just going to let that sit there for just a moment. And this will be like the first area that I take care of. There's still some leaves lodged back in there. Let this dwell 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to come by, agitate it. We're going to rinse it and then continue forward. So we've given this our dwell time, and it's always going to vary depending on your temperatures. Are you detailing an engine in wintertime, or are you doing it in Texas summer and heat? Inside a garage, outside, is the wind blowing? All of that's going to play factor in how long you can let your NXTZEN Super Clean sit on the surface. So we're going to do a little agitation here. A stiffer brush. This is a fairly soft flagged brush that I'm using here. A stiffer brush is fine, but you do run the risk of creating lines within the plastic, especially if it's an older plastic and it's dry and just hasn't been well cared for. You can kind of put scratches in it. So that's why I always like to opt for this, because really it's just surface dirt that's kind of in the grains of the material. Still got a lot of leaves back here. We'll get them all out though. Give us another little spray back here. Now we're ready to rinse this area down. One thing with rinsing, if you have a pressure washer, try to get just a nice fan instead of a straight stream, as that can leave marks inside your plastic. And we don't want that. We don't want it looking like a zebra. Pressure washer. Is it necessary and needed? No, not really, but it's a hell of a help. Great tool. You do want to take some caution around the connectors and the connecting pieces, especially if it's an engine that's a little bit older. Some of these pieces might be a little bit brittle just due to the wear, tear, and the heat. So you want to be a little bit tender when you're going around these areas, so you don't break anything or dislodge something. Nothing was more embarrassing back in the day when you were detailing someone's car and you know, they had carburetors, distributor caps, all that stuff. Get it really, really nice looking, the car's looking great, and then it won't start. A lot of times an engine that's this gritty and sandy and dirty, after it's dried, you're probably going to see some areas that need to get re-hit, maybe 2-3 times. notice also, I'm not putting the pressure washer directly up to the couplings or where things might join. I don't want water getting into those areas through the high pressure. I'm basically just using the pressure washer to really just rinse off the stuff that I've loosened. All right, now for the really greasy, grimy, dirty part. Underneath the hood. We're basically pretty much done with this area. As it dries, we might see an area that we need to hit once or twice again. But we're just gonna let that sit there and dry. And as it dries, you know, when we look at it, we're like, hey, it's really clean. We're gonna take it a couple of notches above just clean. You'll see in the end. Let's get started. So these under hood fabric mats, you can get these wet, you can scrub them, you can hit them with the pressure washer, they're gonna be fine. Especially this one, it's in really good shape. If you get some that are a little bit torn and a little bit worn, maybe not so much. You can replace it if you so desire. But this one's in really good shape. We are going to go ahead and start down here and get it sprayed. I'll just let it sit a bit and dwell. This is an area a lot of detailers will miss. They'll focus and concentrate everything here, miss this. Customer or client opens up the hood and goes, oh yeah, it looks good. And then inevitably looks up and goes, what the hell? Just let that dwell for a little bit. A little agitation. Pressure wash, might be done. In doing the underside of the hood, I want to work from that way up this way. You're gonna have stuff dripping on you a little bit, but it's not gonna be too bad, especially if you get it from an angle like this. Basically just one way. Maybe a little scrub action here and there, but it releases dust and dirt and all this fairly easy. Now I'm going to start at the top and go down. Also, just the fan, kind of like the end of the pressure washer fan hits this. You get up too close, you're gonna rip and you're gonna tear it. That would not be good. I'll rinse this a couple of times until I start seeing the water down here pretty much rinse clean. Excuse me, rinse clear. The camera may not pick it up. It's pretty clear right now, but at first it was kind of like a weak coffee. All right, guys, that is an engine cleaning. Not the detailing part yet, just an engine cleaning. We're gonna take a quick look at it. Maybe you guys can remember what it looked like before, and now to just the cleaning step or stage. For the vast majority of your weekend warriors and the driveway detailers, even the professionals who are hired by someone to come and detail their car and clean the engine, this is gonna be satisfactory. There's really no detailing done to it yet, so please keep that in mind as I show you these pictures. Now, a lot of people mistake, and this is where the professionals need to educate their customers, they mistake an engine cleaning with an engine detailing. This engine cleaning here took us about an hour 15-ish. So, from start to finish. You need to educate your customer that there's a vast difference between spending an hour, 10, 15 minutes or so on an engine. Sometimes maybe it's only 30 minutes, right? It's just a rinse down. That's all it's really gonna need. And then spending up to 5 or 6 hours detailing the engine. It's a whole detail unto itself. It can truly get really, really involved, especially if you're gonna go into the concours type level. Then, boy, that's a whole different ball game. Not everybody wants to get that involved. But we're gonna go maybe about a quarter of the way on that type of a detail. It's gonna look so much better than what it does here. And let's see what it looks like right now. All right, so the underhood before was pretty nasty, it was pretty dirty. You can see we've got hard water spots there, right? As we skim along this bottom section, we've got hard water spots still in there. We're gonna get those taken care of though. As we come up to the fabric piece, man, that looks so much better. And then the top portion of the underhood? The decals and stickers are still intact, right? That's gonna make the client and the customer really, really happy. Now, if you wanted to, you could come back by and you could put a little bit of lithium grease in these, right? Because we probably washed a lot of it out. And once again, we got some hard water spots right there. And then as we come down into the engine area, we have here the cladding that was pretty nasty. And we got that cleaned up, looking good, right? It is not perfect. We need to get some color back into it. But once again, this is just cleaning. Now we come into the actual engine area or the engine bay area. Much nicer. That red looks great. Nice and clean. Decal still intact. This cladding is going to have some hard water spots on it. We're going to get rid of those. The tops of these headlights in the bezel area, the top piece, it's got hard water spots. We're going to get those taken care of. All right, so thank you so much for watching this first part. If you can, please leave a comment. If there's anything that you saw that you really liked, leave a comment. Maybe there's something you didn't like. You can leave a comment. We read all comments. We try to answer to as many of them as we possibly can. Please give us a subscribe. We are going to go on to the next phase, which is going to be the actual engine detailing. And that'll be a whole separate video all unto itself. So subscribe so you can get a notice to that when that's up. And once again, thanks for watching. This was the NXTZEN Super Clean. Pretty much did all the cleaning in this engine, except for some brushes and some elbow grease. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all take care.